And the Giants start to open this lead even wider here in the fourth. The extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. Ready to get this next drive started, the New York offense at the line. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Another carry for the... And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Jones. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Giants add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Extra point safely through. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing now is Mahomes. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Mahomes going to throw. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Niners get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Cooper, the man in motion left. Throwing, Jones. Fighting to stay upright. Right back to Cooper, and he got him again. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. That ball caught by Slayton. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Looking to throw. Jones. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call, and they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is a chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing. And now here's another interception. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Fairbairn good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, he's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who...
He's got a man, complete. A big play there for the Giants. 75 yards. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. On second and goal, Jones. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's going to be out of bounds across the 50. Great return.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles,